boiling the meat first. We'll put it directly in the pressure cooker that is half filled with water. To it, we will add some turmeric powder and a little bit of salt. Cover it up and wait for 3 whistles. We don't want it to be overcooked, just enough so that we can start the next process. We're going to start by pouring some oil. Now that the oil is hot, the first thing we'll put is a bit of dried chili. Be careful. And 2 bay leaves. Stir a bit. While it's cooking, small amount of chopped onions. Look at the onion paste, so you don't need a lot of chopped onions. Fry it together. It doesn't take long, it barely takes a minute or two if the oil is in perfect temperature. You'll see that the onions will start turning slight golden brown. Now we don't want it to be overcooked or completely golden brown because we will be frying it along with the pastes. Now we add a bit of tomato. I don't like to have pieces of tomato when I'm having mutton, so I prefer putting this first, but if you want you can put it later as well. They're very squishy and it doesn't need much cooking for the tomato to get mashed up. Now that you can see that the tomato is almost cooked and the onions are golden brown, we'll put the onion paste. Now that this is cooked, we're going to add this paste to it. Now this paste contains green chilies, ginger and garlic in it. I put 5 big size green chilies in it. Well, they aren't spicy, so I put so many. But it again depends on you how much you want. And stir it. So it has half of a big garlic, 1 small ginger, small ginger, and 5 big green chilies. That's why it looks green. So we'll cook it for some time. It's important that this gets cooked for some time because the more you fry the masala, the tastier it gets. When you're frying the pastes, you'll see that it's going to release water on its own. Now before all the water dries up, I'm going to add the spices. We'll start with a little bit more than a teaspoon of turmeric powder. My husband likes it spicy, so I'm going to put a lot of red chili powder. It depends on how much spice you want. There's not spicy, don't put too much. Then very small, half a teaspoon of cumin powder. And this is coriander powder, 1.5 teaspoon of coriander powder. Coriander is good for immunity. We'll mix it. The water dried up, it seems. After mixing it for a bit, I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. No, actually I leave it as it is, it's still moist. A little bit of sugar, half a teaspoon, and salt as per your taste. It smells as beautiful as it's looking right now. So it's still sticking to the sides. When it's completely cooked, spices and the mashed ingredients that we have mixed, once it's completely cooked, you would see it release oil. Now as you can see, this gravy that I'm making, it's not sticking to the karai anymore, or to the pan anymore. This is when you know that it's cooked, and if you look closely, it started releasing oil. So it's almost cooked. Now we'll add potatoes to it. It's important that we add the potatoes and the boiled mutton that we have right now, because if you don't do that, then it's going to be bland, because the masala that we have prepared is not going to go inside or mix properly with all the ingredients that we are adding. And at the same time, at this point, when you're frying it to tenderize it a bit more, I will squeeze in half a lemon. So now as you can see, it's getting pretty dry. I will add a little bit of stock. This step is important. The more you fry the chicken, or mutton in this case, the tastier it gets. Now as you can see that it's releasing oil, which means it's almost done. The next step would be to add the remaining stock in it and cover it up so that the potato gets cooked. If you have Kashmiri mirch, you can use Kashmiri mirch powder. If you have garam masala, you can put garam masala before you cover it up. That gives you a beautiful aroma. I ran out of garam masala, so I'm not going to use it. If you have meat masala, you can use that too. I prefer not using meat masala. It gives you a weird flavor. I mean, I find it a weird flavor, but if you guys like it, you can use it. So now, since I'm cooking in an induction, once this is all mixed properly, it is mixed properly, fantastic. I'm going to reduce the temperature to 500, curry 500, and cover it up. I'm going to let it sit for half an hour.